Ever noticed how some days you're on top of the world, yet on others, making even a basic choice seems impossible? What if I told you that your confidence fluctuates not just because of who you are, but due to daily activities you might not even be aware of? Today, we're going to delve into the daily habits that unknowingly undermine your confidence. In true Stoic fashion, we'll examine how these habits affect us and how Stoic principles can empower us to regain command over our self-respect and life. Remember, Stoics aren't born, they're shaped by daily decisions. If you're keen to take control of your self-perception and your approach to life, stay tuned. This could revolutionize your daily routine. If you value our content and want to support our journey of self-improvement, please consider subscribing. It's a simple, free way to contribute. And don't skip any part of the video. As a modern Stoic, you differ from the masses, and your path to mastering confidence is unique. Taking care of your appearance isn't just vanity, it's about respecting your body and presence. Habit. One revolves around Marcus Aurelius's observation that our bodies are precious for what they enable us to do. By maintaining our physical health, we boost our ability to engage with the world, lifting both our self-esteem and engagement levels. Caring for your appearance does more than make you look attractive. It fosters a sense of well-being, impacting your confidence in social and professional environments. Epictetus taught us to care for ourselves without veering into vanity, striking a balance between self-respect and obsession. The influence of appearance on confidence is well documented in psychology, supported by the halo effect, where positive perceptions about one's looks can enhance other personal attributes. Moreover, presenting yourself well can be a powerful form of non-verbal communication. It signals how you view yourself and how you prefer to be perceived. Socrates, while valuing inner beauty, acknowledged that outward appearances could mirror our internal state, suggesting a disheveled appearance might reflect internal turmoil. Aristotle spoke of the golden mean, the desirable middle between excess and deficiency, encouraging us to care for our appearance to foster positive interactions without becoming overly fixated. Habit number 2 involves seeing daily preparation as an act of self-respect. It doesn't demand perfection each day, but it does require acknowledgement that your presentation can influence your mood and how others perceive you. Aligning your exterior with your internal values shows respect for yourself and commands it from others. Focusing excessively on minor imperfections can be harmful, as it shifts attention from strengths to insignificant flaws. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control. Epictetus said that some things are up to us, while others are not. Dwelling on unchangeable minor flaws wastes energy that could be better spent on more productive endeavors. This obsession with flaws is a distraction that can undermine our self-esteem and divert us from our true virtues. Marcus Aurelius wrote about concentrating on our own actions, which we can control, rather than obsessing over our appearance or others' opinions, which are beyond our control. He believed tranquility comes from aligning actions with reason and conscience, which remain steady regardless of physical imperfections. Aristotle's notion of the mean, applied to self-perception, encourages a balanced view of ourselves, neither inflated by vanity nor deflated by an excessive focus on flaws. Socrates argued that fixating on trivial details can impede the pursuit of true knowledge and virtue, which are more crucial for character and moral development. In psychology, the role of self-talk is pivotal. Negative self-talk, especially about minor flaws, can lead to a distorted self-image, anxiety, and diminished motivation. Habit 3 suggests that by focusing on positive attributes and achievements, we can bolster our self-esteem and overall mental health. This aligns with Stoic practices of concentrating on what truly matters, our virtues and actions, rather than on uncontrollable or minor elements. When you catch yourself obsessing over flaws, remember Stoic wisdom, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and influence. Redirecting attention to our virtues and defining qualities can not only improve our self-esteem, but also lead us toward a more fulfilled and contented life. Embracing a balanced self-view recognizes flaws without letting them overshadow our broader journey toward virtue and self-improvement. It's crucial to recognize that humility is valuable. It keeps us grounded and approachable. However, there's a fine line between being humble and engaging in excessive self-deprecation, which can fundamentally impact how you view your capabilities and worth, potentially leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy of inadequacy. Stoicism promotes resilience and emotional control, providing a constructive way to handle this. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius saw every obstacle as an opportunity to improve. When focusing on a weakness, try to see it as a challenge or a puzzle to be solved, not a flaw. This doesn't mean ignoring weaknesses, but viewing them through a lens of growth and potential. For instance, rephrase self-criticisms about public speaking from "I'm terrible" to "I'm improving at public speaking." This shift from a fixed to a growth mindset alters the narrative you tell yourself and others, promoting learning and improvement. Epictetus emphasized focusing on what is changeable, aligning our efforts with Stoic ideals. This doesn't just build self-confidence, it fosters a realistic and effective approach to personal development. Reframing weaknesses as growth opportunities can also enhance how others perceive you, as people respond positively to those open about their personal growth journeys. Habit 4 underlines that while it's important to recognize weaknesses, it's equally vital to frame them constructively. Seeing every weakness as a growth opportunity fosters personal development and a resilient, adaptable mindset, a core Stoic principle. Next time you're about to criticize a personal shortcoming, pause and consider how you can turn it into a growth opportunity. This small shift can significantly affect your self-perception and others' perceptions, leading to enhanced confidence and effectiveness in all areas of life. On first glance, praising others seems entirely positive, right? Certainly, appreciating others' achievements is key to healthy relationships. However, when overdone, it can have unintended effects, especially if it diminishes your sense of self-worth. Stoicism, which seeks balance and rationality in all aspects of life, teaches us about the importance of moderation in how we interact with others. Over-complimenting can inadvertently elevate others while diminishing your own achievements and qualities, which isn't just about a balanced view of relationships. It's about maintaining a balanced self-view. It's essential, according to Stoic thought, to recognize and celebrate your own achievements as vigorously as you do for others. This isn't a call to arrogance, but an encouragement toward a healthy self-esteem. Marcus Aurelius frequently wrote about the importance of self-awareness and appreciating one's own worth. He emphasized that one should not just be humble, but also recognize and appreciate their value and contributions. In practical terms, if you find yourself frequently praising others while rarely acknowledging your own efforts, take a moment to reflect on this pattern. Ask yourself if you are perhaps using praise to deflect attention from your own accomplishments or to avoid confronting your potential. This kind of self-reflection, deeply encouraged in Stoicism, can help you understand your motivations and adjust your behaviors to foster a more balanced self-perception. Moreover, excessive praising can sometimes be perceived as insincere, which might strain relationships rather than strengthen them. Epictetus warned against empty flattery and emphasized genuine interactions based on truth and sincerity. He believed flattery was a form of deception, both towards oneself and others. To cultivate a healthier balance in how you interact with others, try to consciously acknowledge something you did well at the same time you recognize someone else. This practice will help reinforce a balanced perspective that appreciates both others' contributions and your own. By fostering this balance, you adhere to Stoic principles of moderation and rational self-regard. You not only contribute to more authentic relationships with others, but also strengthen your self-esteem by affirming your value and capabilities. This balanced approach ensures that your compliments to others are meaningful and that your self-appreciation is equally grounded in reality. Habit 5. This habit can subtly undermine our confidence and skew our perception of our capabilities. It's where the teachings of Stoicism really come into play, emphasizing the power of rational thought and the importance of not being swayed by undue emotions. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus frequently discuss the importance of controlling our reactions to our thoughts. They propose that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our interpretation of these events. So when we engage in negative self-talk, it's crucial to challenge these thoughts. Ask yourself, are these thoughts rational? Are they true? Most often you'll find that these negative whispers are not based on facts, but are rather distortions of reality. Epictetus urged us to examine our impressions and not to be carried away by them without scrutiny. He believed that by questioning our initial reactions, we can avoid being controlled by them and maintain our inner peace. This is particularly helpful when dealing with negative self-talk. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I always mess things up," it's essential to challenge this. Look at the evidence. Have there truly been no instances where you've succeeded? Challenging such absolutes helps to break down these negative barriers and fosters a more balanced self-view. Moreover, Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of viewing things objectively and without the cloud of our personal biases. When negative thoughts arise, try to step back and see them as an outside observer might. This detachment allows you to evaluate whether those thoughts are helpful or harmful, true or false. It's a method of gaining perspective and reclaiming your mind from the grips of unhelpful criticism. Incorporating this Stoic practice into your daily routine can significantly alter your interaction with negative self-talk. Each time a negative thought surfaces, take a moment to scrutinize it with rational thought. This process doesn't just diminish the power of negative thinking, it enhances your overall mental resilience. By consistently practicing this, you gradually shift from a mindset overwhelmed by self-doubt to one fortified with self-assurance. Habit 6 reminds us that the goal here isn't to never have negative thoughts. That's unrealistic. But to prevent these thoughts from taking root and defining your self-perception. Just like the Stoics, you can learn to see these thoughts for what they truly are, mere impressions, not concrete realities. Over time, this practice will not only boost your confidence, but also deepen your understanding and mastery of Stoic principles in everyday life. It might seem like a minor thing, but it's actually quite significant when we think about how it affects our self-confidence and the way others perceive us. In the Stoic view, every word and action should be intentional and meaningful. So when it comes to apologizing, Stoic wisdom would advise us to reserve our apologies for situations where they are truly warranted. Why does this matter? Well, apologizing unnecessarily can convey a lack of confidence in one's decisions and actions. It can send a message that you're always in the wrong or always to blame, even when that's not the case. This not only affects how others see you, but can also lead to a diminished sense of self-worth. Stoics like Epictetus taught that we should focus on what is within our control, our actions, and our words. By apologizing excessively, you may be taking responsibility for things outside your control, which is contrary to Stoic principles. The key here is to be mindful and deliberate with your apologies. When you make a mistake, own it, apologize sincerely, and then move forward. This aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on the present and learning from the past without dwelling on it. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of living in accordance with nature, and part of that is acknowledging our human imperfections. Apologizing when it's truly called for is honest and reflective of a strong character. However, when apologies are overused, they can lose their meaning. Think of it this way: if you say sorry for everything, how will people know when you are genuinely remorseful? An apology should be a reflection of your true intentions, not a habitual response to every situation. This is not only about how others perceive your apologies, but also about cultivating a genuine sense of accountability within yourself. Moreover, excessive apologizing can be a sign that you're not standing firmly within your own boundaries. Stoicism teaches us about the importance of knowing ourselves and living with integrity. Part of this self-knowledge is understanding when we have actually done something that warrants an apology, and when we are simply diminishing our own authority by saying sorry unnecessarily. Habit 7. In the context of Stoicism, much emphasis is placed on personal responsibility and the integrity of living a life that you have carefully considered and chosen for yourself. Letting others decide for you might seem easier in the short term, especially if decision-making feels daunting or you're worried about the consequences of your choices. However, when you habitually rely on others to make your choices, you're essentially living a life designed by someone else. This can lead to a significant disconnect between your true desires and how you're actually living. Stoic philosophers, particularly Epictetus, often discussed the importance of prohairesis, which is the faculty of choice. According to him, this is the only thing we truly own, and we must not give it away lightly. Building confidence through decision-making starts with trusting your own judgment. This doesn't mean you should never seek advice or consider other perspectives, but ultimately, the decision should come from you. This practice aligns well with the Stoic belief in the importance of living according to one's own nature and reason. By making your own choices, you affirm your values, assess your options rationally, and take responsibility for the paths you choose. Starting small is an excellent way to practice this. Make decisions about your daily routine, what to eat, what to read, or how to organize your day. These might seem like trivial choices, but they set the foundation for more significant decisions. As you grow more comfortable and confident in these smaller choices, you'll naturally begin to feel more equipped to handle larger, more impactful decisions in your life. Marcus Aurelius, a staunch advocate of self-governance in accordance with reason, emphasized the importance of acting in a way that is consistent with your own principles and not just following the crowd. This autonomy is empowering. When you make decisions that align with your deep-seated beliefs, you not only live more authentically, but also reinforce your self-confidence. Moreover, making your own decisions and accepting the outcomes, whether good or bad, fosters resilience. You learn from each consequence, which in turn prepares you better for future challenges. This process is inherently Stoic, as it involves reflecting on and learning from the outcomes of your actions, which Stoics believe is key to personal development. By making your own decisions, you claim ownership of your life. This strengthens your sense of self, builds your confidence, and helps you develop into a person who lives with intention and integrity. Each decision is a step towards a more authentic and confident self, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Habit 8 points out a common pitfall that can subtly erode the quality of our lives and our self-esteem. Stoicism teaches us the importance of striving for excellence through discipline and maintaining high personal standards. These principles aren't just about achieving external success. They're fundamentally about cultivating inner virtue and living a life that's true to your values. When you start to lower your standards, whether in work, relationships, or personal goals, it does more than just affect the immediate outcomes. It impacts how you view yourself. Lower standards mean you're not pushing yourself to reach your full potential. This can create a cycle of underachievement, where the less you expect from yourself, the less you are likely to achieve, and the lower your confidence sinks. Seneca argued that our lives are the sum of our choices, and to degrade those choices is to degrade our lives. High standards are a reflection of believing in one's capabilities. They drive you to challenge yourself, which in turn leads to personal growth and satisfaction. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius believe that the obstacle itself is an opportunity to practice some virtue: patience, courage, humility, resourcefulness. By maintaining high standards, you're not just aiming for external achievements. You're practicing these virtues, which build a solid foundation for confidence. It's essential, however, to distinguish between unrealistically high standards and high, achievable standards. The former can lead to frustration and disappointment, while the latter encourages growth and improvement. A Stoic aims for the latter, practicing what Epictetus called the art of living. He suggested that just as a musician tunes their instrument to achieve harmony, a person must set their standards to align with their true capabilities and values, thereby creating a harmonious life. In practical terms, consider what lowering your standards might mean in different areas of your life. In work, it might mean accepting good enough in a project where you could excel. In relationships, it might mean tolerating disrespect or neglect. And in personal habits, it could mean skipping steps in your routine that are designed to improve your well-being. Each time you lower your standards, you send yourself the message that you don't deserve better. Habit 9. Toxic relationships are those that consistently drain your energy, disparage your contributions, or disrespect your boundaries. These relationships, whether they are friendships, romantic partnerships, or even professional connections, can profoundly affect how you see yourself and your ability to grow. They can inject negativity into your life and create an environment where it's challenging to maintain a healthy, optimistic outlook. This is starkly opposed to the Stoic pursuit of peace and personal virtue. Seneca once wrote about the importance of choosing one's friends carefully, noting that we should welcome those who are capable of improving us. He believed that friends should be selected for their ethical qualities and their ability to challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. Applying this to our own lives, it becomes clear why maintaining toxic relationships is so detrimental. These relationships do the opposite of improving us. They pull us into a cycle of negativity and stagnation. If you find yourself in a toxic relationship, Stoicism teaches us to evaluate these connections with a rational and objective mindset. Ask yourself, do these relationships align with my values? Do they contribute to my growth and well-being? If the answer is no, it may be time to consider distancing yourself from these negative influences. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the value of tranquility and peace of mind, which can be disrupted by toxic relationships. He advocated for living in harmony with oneself, which sometimes means making tough decisions about who you allow into your inner circle. Furthermore, distancing yourself from toxic relationships doesn't mean you bear any ill will. It's about protecting your own well-being and growth. It's a demonstration of self-respect and an acknowledgement that you are deserving of positive, supportive relationships. This step, although difficult, is often liberating and profoundly transformative. It clears space in your life for healthier interactions and opens up opportunities for personal development and happiness. Remember that evaluating and possibly pruning toxic relationships is not just about cutting ties. It's about making room in your life for relationships that truly matter and that contribute positively to your growth. In addressing the toxicity in relationships and aligning this with the principles of Stoicism, we delve deeper into how these relationships not only affect our current state of well-being, but also our long-term personal development. Toxic relationships are marked by patterns of behavior that consistently diminish your energy, belittle your contributions, or undermine your personal boundaries. This persistent negativity can significantly impact your self-perception and your ability to pursue growth in a healthy, constructive manner. The wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Seneca is particularly relevant here. Seneca emphasized the critical role of friendships in shaping one's character and life path. He argued that we should not only choose friends who are morally and ethically robust, but also those who push us towards self-improvement. This philosophy starkly contrasts with the dynamics found in toxic relationships, which instead lead to cycles of negativity and personal stagnation. Toxic relationships, whether they manifest in romantic partnerships, friendships, or even professional environments, systematically erode your sense of self-worth and disrupt your quest for inner peace, a central tenet of Stoic thought. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic luminary, highlighted the importance of maintaining tranquility and peace of mind. He believed that achieving harmony with oneself might necessitate difficult decisions, including the severance of ties with those who consistently bring discord into your life. From a Stoic perspective, evaluating and possibly ending toxic relationships is not an act of malice, but a profound exercise in self-respect and preservation. It involves a careful assessment of whether these relationships uphold your values, contribute positively to your growth, and support your overall well-being. If they do not, the Stoic response would be to distance oneself to protect one's mental and emotional health. Moreover, cutting off toxic relationships is not merely about removal. It's a proactive step towards clearing space for more nurturing and supportive interactions. Habit 10 is about respecting yourself enough to say no to what harms you and yes to what nurtures you. This process, deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, supports not just personal peace, but also the cultivation of virtue and character. This is a habit many of us fall into almost instinctively as we navigate through life, but Stoicism offers a valuable perspective on this issue. It reminds us that every individual's path is uniquely their own, shaped by different circumstances, choices, and experiences. Stoic teachings encourage us to focus on our own journey and measure our progress against ourselves, not others. Comparing yourself to others can be a trap. It's easy to look at someone else's life and feel as though you don't measure up, or conversely, to feel superior based on arbitrary measures. However, such comparisons are not only unproductive, but can also lead to unnecessary discontent. The philosopher Epictetus emphasized that envy and jealousy stem from focusing on the external fortunes of others, which are beyond our control. He suggested that peace comes from focusing on our internal state and progress, which we can control. The Stoics teach that the only comparison that should matter is the one with your past self. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Have you grown in ways that are important to you? This perspective aligns with the concept of continual self-improvement and personal virtue. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about self-reflection and the importance of self-mastery. He believed in striving to be the best version of oneself, not in competition with others, but as a personal challenge. This approach is about setting personal benchmarks and goals based on your values, aspirations, and capabilities. It shifts the focus from external validation to internal satisfaction and fulfillment. By concentrating on your own growth and achievements, you cultivate a sense of intrinsic motivation that is more stable and enduring than the fleeting highs of external comparison. Moreover, the Stoic view helps foster a mindset of abundance and positivity. When you're not constantly measuring your worth against others, you're more likely to feel content with what you have and who you are. This doesn't mean you don't strive for improvement, but it does mean that your motivation comes from a healthier, more constructive place. In practical terms, whenever you find yourself slipping into the habit of comparing yourself to others, pause and redirect your focus. Reflect on your own progress and celebrate the milestones, no matter how small. Remind yourself of where you started and how far you've come. This practice not only enhances your self-esteem, but also keeps you rooted in the present, appreciating your journey for what it is, an individual path filled with unique challenges and victories. Remember that life is not a race against others, but a journey of becoming the best version of yourself. By embracing this Stoic wisdom, you'll find that you spend less time feeling inadequate or envious, and more time appreciating your own growth and successes. It's about finding joy in your personal evolution and recognizing that each step forward, no matter how small, is a triumph in its own right. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, extensively championed the concept of self-mastery and self-reflection in his writings. His philosophy revolves around the idea that personal growth should not stem from competition with others, but from a deep-seated commitment to one's own development. This perspective encourages setting personal benchmarks and goals that resonate with one's own values, aspirations, and abilities, fostering a journey of self-improvement that is personally meaningful and detached from societal pressures. This approach fundamentally shifts the locus of validation from external accolades to internal fulfillment. By concentrating on personal achievements, one nurtures a stable and enduring form of intrinsic motivation. This kind of motivation is immune to the volatile nature of external validation, which often leads to transient satisfaction. Instead, intrinsic motivation promotes long-term contentment and a consistent pursuit of self-improvement. Embracing this Stoic mindset also cultivates an attitude of abundance and positivity. By disconnecting one's sense of worth from external comparisons, it becomes easier to appreciate what you have and who you are. This is not to say that ambition or the desire for improvement is discarded. Rather, the drive to better oneself springs from a place of health and constructive ambition. Practically, Marcus Aurelius suggests a method of coping when one falls into the trap of comparing oneself to others. He advises a pause and a conscious redirection of focus towards personal progress. Reflecting on one's own journey, celebrating individual milestones, and acknowledging the distance traveled from the starting point can significantly bolster self-esteem. This practice helps maintain a grounding in the present moment, appreciating each step of the journey for its unique contributions to one's character and capabilities. Ultimately, embracing Marcus Aurelius' teachings leads to a profound sense of joy in one's personal evolution. Each small step forward is recognized not just as progress, but as a significant victory in its own right. This philosophical stance not only enriches one's life with a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction, but also aligns one with the Stoic ideals of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, guiding one towards a life of virtue and meaning. As we wrap up, remember that the journey to self-improvement is ongoing and uniquely yours. Embrace the Stoic path of focusing on your own growth and let go of the unhelpful comparisons that hold you back. Thank you for spending this time with us at Powerful Stoic Habit. Don't forget to check out one of the suggested videos on the screen to continue your journey toward a more fulfilled and confident life. And since you've made it to the end, share with us your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. See you soon.